Colleagues, PDP demands transparency in appointment of electoral officers. The People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Organization has invited you here today to update you on our position on critical issues of transparency and credibility as they concern the 2019 general elections. The People's Democratic Party Campaign Organization notes that the Independent National Electoral Commission has started the process of appointing electoral officers for the conduct of the elections at various levels. The PPCO calls on INEC Chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to ensure that the process of appointing electoral officers are made transparently. The PPCO also insists that current beneficiaries of the Empower program of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration must not be allowed to participate as electoral officers in any capacity and at any level in the general elections. Our party, the People's Party, also insists that no university vice-chancellor or lecturer who at any point in time has manifested or expressed any form of partisanship should be allowed to participate in the electoral process. The PPCO further insists that names of all electoral officers at all levels must be made public ahead of the elections for all stakeholders to assess their neutrality in their respective constituencies. We invite the INEC chairman to note that we are aware that Mrs. Amina Zakari, President Muhammadu Buhari's relation by marriage, in INEC, is already coordinating compromised lecturers and other partisan individuals that will pander to her ploys to manipulate the presidential election. The PPCO therefore demands that the process of selection of electoral officers must be checked and conducted with strict compliance with the assurances of the INEC chairman that the process of our electioneering will be credible and transparent. It is important to state that our party is not in the arena of conflict with INEC, but as a political party and a critical stakeholder in the 2019 elections, we have the responsibility to point out pitfalls that can endanger the electoral process and lead our nation to a slide into chaos. The PDP is a responsible political party. Our members, followers, and timid supporters cut across all the 120,000 polling units in our nation. As such, the PDP is a major stakeholder in the 2019 general election and even beyond. As such, INEC should stop engaging the PDP and other political parties as if we are enemies. The Commission must consider all propositions and objections pointed out by the PDP and other opposition parties as measures that will foster free, fair, transparent, and credible elections as claimed by the INEC chairman. The PPCO notes that since the INEC chairman has said that Mrs. Amina Zakari has no role in the collation of results, we consequently, as a party, restate our demand that she be exempted from any form of electoral role in these elections. Already, the public space is filled with the insistence that, given the confession by President Muhammadu Buhari that Amina Zakari is his relation by marriage, she must, as a matter of necessity, be exempted from any electoral function in order to avert the conflict of interest bordering on partisanship. We call on the United Nations, the European Union, and all democratic institutions across the world to rise and appeal to the INEC chairman to, in the interest of peace, exempt Amina Zakari from this exercise, as any election conducted with her participation in INEC cannot be anything credible. The PPCO states that the PDP and our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as well as all our candidates in all the elections at all levels, are ready and set for the 2019 elections. Our presidential candidate is vigorously campaigning across the nooks and crannies of our country, consolidating on the consensus already attained by Nigerians across the divides to elect him as the next president of our beloved country, following the failures, manifest incompetence, and corruption of the Buhari administration. All that the PPCO demands from INEC is a credible, free, fair, transparent, clean, and clear process in which results must reflect the wishes and aspirations of Nigerians at the elections. The participation of Amina Zakari in the process cannot guarantee this. Meanwhile, let it be known that anything short of a free, fair, clear, and credible election will not be acceptable, not only to the PDP, but also to the entire nation. I welcome you all. Elections all over the world are supposed to be largely credible, free, fair, transparent, and acceptable to majority of those who are going to participate in the process. But we are saying that in this circumstance, you have an umpire who is directly related, according to the contestant, this time in person of President Muhammadu Buhari. He publicly accepted and confessed to the fact that Amina Zakari is related to him by marriage. Amina Zakari, therefore, cannot be an umpire in the election where the same relation by marriage is a contender. It's simple logic. If you take a matter to court and you have issues with a judge prior to your matter coming before him, you have a responsibility, if you so wish, to ask that the judge recuses himself from the matter. And in this circumstance, we are saying that an umpire in an election as critical and as important to Nigerians like the 2019 election, we should not put the future of our nation in the hands of a relation of President Muhammadu Buhari.
All right, sir. Let me just chip in my question, sir.
Yes. Focus on Amina Zakari, because we know the role she played in past election. And like I said earlier on, we live our lives by hindsight or foresight experiences. So maybe we have learned from the hindsight, and we don't want a repeat of what happened then to happen now. Your second question, your second lab, which Leon also extended, is that why are we complaining about professors? We are not complaining about vice chancellors. We said anyone that has manifested partisanship. So it is not a complaint or being scared. We said anyone that has shown partisanship, or you want us to keep quiet and allow APC to fill the returning officers with people who share the same belief with them and who have expressed it publicly? Is that what you are saying? So that our position is about transparency in 2019 election. And it's about the feelings of majority of Nigerians who are sick and tired of the incompetencies and incapacity of the current administration, and who look towards the People's Democratic Party, the People's Party, for a renewed life, an improved economy, a true fight against corruption, and an end to insurgency and banditry. I thank you very much. That plan. And we have expressed that in public, that there is a plot between Amina Zakari and agents of our relation by marriage, particularly the cabal in the presidency, to manipulate this election. And we are saying that Nigerians will not accept any form of rigging in 2019 election. Yes, correct an impression. And the impression is to think that this perception is of the PDP. Majority of the parties in IPAC are on the same page on issues bordering on the rigging of the election and Amina Zakari's existence as the head of coalition. So it's not about the People's Democratic Party. So having created this premise, you can understand thereafter why the opposition parties will not accept an election in which a relation of Mr. President. Is it not laughable? Is it not ridiculous? Are we a banana republic? We are a nation of Democrats. And we must not allow this democracy to be subdued by any other form of relationship. So it's not an issue of whether it's PDP. It's not about PDP. It's a simple logic. It's just there. How can you be in an election and you go and bring your relation in a country of over 200 million people? It's only your relation that you trust that should conduct that election. What does that tell you as a person? What does it say to you as a person? It is totally unacceptable to us in the People's Democratic Party. And we will keep talking about it. Even the wisdom of INEC, they considered and thought it expedient to remove Amina Zakari as the commissioner in charge of ICT and operations. Why the Nicodemus return of Amina Zakari as head of coalition? And you want Nigerians to keep quiet? It's an affront that must not be accepted.